A corporate team waters down a bold product idea into a safe, forgettable tweak. A worker endlessly delays a high-stakes project. A public speaker grips a wooden podium as their hands shake uncontrollably. Modern society often frames these behaviors as character flaws, labeling the people involved as uncreative, lazy, or weak-nerved. Conventional psychiatry, rooted in the methods of figures like Sigmund Freud, often searches for deep-seated traumas to explain these blocks. But focusing solely on the mind ignores the mechanical reality of the body. This pervasive fear of failure functions as a perfectly calibrated prehistoric survival mechanism, ancient software currently hijacking our modern lives. This is the anterior cingulate cortex, or ACC. It acts as the brain's social security system, constantly scanning for where you stand in the hierarchy. In prehistoric environments, tribal rejection meant literal death. Without protection, you were vulnerable to starvation and predators. Because of that history, the ACC registers modern social pain, like being embarrassed or excluded, using the exact same neural pathways as physical injury. To your ancient brain, looking foolish in a meeting triggers the same alarm bells as being exiled to die in the freezing wilderness. Sensing a social threat, the brain takes a shortcut. The thalamus bypasses the rational prefrontal cortex, sending a panic signal directly to the amygdala. The amygdala initiates a code red. Your heart pumps oxygen-rich blood to your muscles, preparing you to sprint for safety. Digestion shuts down to prioritize immediate survival, leading to a dry mouth and stomach knots. Blood flow is diverted away from the prefrontal cortex, the center of complex thought, which is why your mind suddenly goes blank when needed most. These physical glitches drive procrastination and corporate hesitation. They are unconscious strategies designed to keep you far away from the lethal threat of group judgment. Procrastination represents your body successfully executing a prehistoric survival protocol. It's just the wrong century for that specific response. We can overwrite these responses through neuroplasticity. This biological loophole allows us to rewire the connections between social attention and mortal danger. Logic cannot reach the primitive brain. It only learns through experience. To change the wiring, you must expose the brain to the trigger and demonstrate that no attack occurred. Taking small risks, like breaking a project into tiny steps, or volunteering for low-stakes speaking roles, provides the evidence the amygdala needs to stand down. We act our way out of fear. By physically surviving these moments without being ostracized, we generate the concrete proof our brain needs to recalibrate its alarm system. Leaders can leverage this biological reality using Lorraine Marchand's structural frameworks to bypass the collective fear of failure in their teams. By intentionally designing a culture of safe experimentation and collaboration with clear communication rhythms, leaders remove the ambiguity that triggers the brain's social alarm. The chance principle manages risk by funding a portfolio of small bets. When failures are expected and non-catastrophic, the individual's amygdala no longer perceives the work as a life or death threat. The development of the Shinkansen bullet train shows how massive commitment can override group anxiety. By backing an audacious goal with dedicated resources and structural support, Japanese leaders provided a protective buffer for engineers facing immense skepticism. When the project debuted for the 1964 Olympics, it proved that structured ambition can navigate collective uncertainty. The leadership's steady message and resources effectively rewired the social risk for the team. Fear and risk aversion are simply ancient software. By utilizing disciplined systems and neuroplasticity, we can stop fighting our biology and finally build a future designed for innovation.